I can assure you that under me, Customs will open its door of cooperation and collaboration to all the agencies. We will have those platforms from the strategic level, and I want to be sure that at the command, the state, and the local levels, we are also going to have similar platform for cooperation and very strong collaborations for you to work together and achieve the mandate of national security. We are all aware of the situation in our northern neighbor, Republic of Niger. In response to a national directive, presidential directive, from our President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as our President and as the Chairman of the ECOWAS Authorities of Head of State, we are monitoring the situation in Niger closely, and one of the decisions taken in the wisdoms of the heads of state is the closure of our borders with Niger. Over the period of during last week, I paid a working visit to some of those borders, and I can assure you that the implementation of that measures there is 100%. And when that happens, people who want to smuggle things into that country may want to explore openings in other borders. So this is why it is important for you to be very, very, very vigilant. Anywhere we have borders, there could be compromise and there could be attempts to use routes that are not necessarily normal for them to cross things into Niger. All transit goods going into Niger for now are to be stopped. Anywhere you see them, any transit goods making use transiting through Nigerian territory, the customs territory, should be stopped if they are headed for Niger Republic. And this is also a time for us to remain very, very, very vigilant, because the enemies of the state, they are still at work. Those who are bent in destabilizing the country, they are still at work. You recall the incidents of about 2 weeks ago when some elements smuggled ammunition across using some of the flanks that we have here. So this is therefore a reminder that you cannot afford to relax at any point in time. Your level of vigilance, your level of alertness must be 100%. You must be ready all the time You must cultivate very, very credible and useful intelligence from amongst the community that you live. And you must learn to synergize and cooperate with other agencies who are working together with you to enhance national security. There are a number of issues that our communities have put across to us. Some of these issues go beyond the mandate of the customs because some of them are policies from authorities that are higher. But I can assure you that working along with the appropriate authorities of government, we will be requesting a review of some of those policies if we see situation that warrants such review exists in your operations and the borders. For example, if there is compliance with extant laws regarding import and exports around us, if we see the support of the communities working with government agencies to enforce those laws, if we see our communities supporting government agencies, of course, we would make appropriate recommendations for a review of issues like border closures, issues like importation of vehicles through, second-hand vehicles through the borders, and most importantly, because of the removal of subsidies, we may also call for a review of the operations of petrol filling stations in and around our borders. I'd like to conclude once again by expressing my sincere gratitude to all of you, by charging you to remain vigilant in the mandate of ensuring national security. Thank you very much. Those from Nigeria, and particularly those from our neighboring country, Republic of Benin. I want to express my sincere gratitude to you all. This is my first official working visit to the command since I was appointed the Acting Controller General. And it is meant to touch base with our officers and members of the communities around which we work. For us in customs, and indeed all other members of the security agencies, our task in this part of the country is a very important one. We have a collective mandate to ensure and enhance national security. And while we enhance national security, we also have a twin responsibility to enhance our regional security, particularly in the West African sub-region. Whatever happens around us, whatever happens within our country and around our neighboring countries can have very, very direct implications. Look at how close we are. We are interrelated. We are dependent on each other. And that's why we cannot afford to be unconcerned regarding what is happening with our neighbors. So one of the reasons why I'm here this morning is to reiterate the need for all our agencies to remain focused and committed towards the ideal of national and regional security. This is a very strategic gateway into Nigeria and of course into the Republic of Benin and by extension the sub-region. So we cannot afford to allow criminals who thrive in perpetrating their crimes across our borders to do things that are inimical to our national security. So this is why I'm here this morning to remind ourselves of our collective mandates to keep away criminals operating around our borders, whether they come in the manner of smuggling, human trafficking, drug trafficking, things that will affect our public health. We have a collective responsibility to confront them and beat them to their game. For us in customs, we believe that no one agency can do this alone. We need to work together. We need to collaborate together. The dynamics of crime has changed over the years. There is no single criminal that comes to our border and perpetrates only its crimes. Smugglers, most smugglers, they come in armed. So what it means is that they engage in illegal use and importation of arms and ammunition. Most human traffickers, most of the time, they also take currencies away from the country. They are also guilty of money laundering and illegal smuggling of currencies across the borders. In fact, mention all criminals around our borders. Their operations and their modus operandi cuts across the mandate of all our security agencies. So this is why it is important for all our security agencies to work as one, collectively. See every criminal as an enemy of the state, first and foremost, before we begin to talk about our narrow mandates of smuggling, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and all of that.